Year 1638, Goa, the capital of Portuguese India. The earliest European country to colonize India and the last to leave, the Portuguese had the first mover advantage in India. When the British, French, Danish, Dutch and others were just getting started, the Portuguese had already established an empire. They had plans to turn Goa into Roma de Oriente, the Rome of the East. But little did they know that their plans would be spoiled by the Dutch East India Company from a lesser-known Indian fishing town of Vengurla. Today, Vengurla is known for its natural beauty, serene beaches, prominent temples, mango and cashew plantations. But it once played an important role in the world's history and even changed its course. Located 109 kilometers north of Goa, it was under the Bijapur Sultanate of the Adil Shahi dynasty in the 17th century. Goa, the capital of the Portuguese Empire in India, was once an important port of the Bijapur Sultanate. After the conquest of Goa, the Adil Shahi Sultans wanted to avenge this conquest. To counterbalance and to oust the Portuguese from Goa, the Sultan allied with the Dutch. Vengurla was a natural port connecting the Arabian Sea to the hinterlands. Johann von Dwest, an envoy of the Dutch East India Company, secures permission from the Sultan to build a fortified warehouse and a factory in Vengurla in 1638. This factory is a Dutch outpost close to Goa whose objective was more than trade and surveillance. The Dutch had recently declared independence from the Habsburg dynasty of Spain and was at war with the Spanish Empire. In 1580, Spain and Portugal had become one political entity called the Iberian Union, where the King of Spain had also become the King of Portugal, making enemies of Spain also enemies of Portugal. This gave rise to the Dutch-Portuguese War at a global scale, from China to India to Brazil. In order to choke Portuguese international trade, the Dutch blockaded Goa in 1604 for an entire month and then in 1606 for 2 months. Understanding their blind spot in defense, the Portuguese constructed Fort Aguada in 1612. To counter the Portuguese more effectively, the Dutch allied with the Bijapur Sultanate and developed a fortified factory at Vengurla that served as an outpost as well as a supply refill. Due to access to supplies from Vengurla, they could blockade Goa in 1638 for an entire year. This led to the Dutch-Portuguese War, where they destroyed 3 Portuguese galleon ships. The battles continued and so did the blockade, disconnecting Goa to Lisbon to the west and Macau to the east. It led to the stagnation of the economy and the eventual downfall of Portuguese Goa. This war came to an end in 1661 with the Treaty of Hague, where the Dutch gave away Portugal their territories in Brazil, while the Dutch gained Sri Lanka and Maluku Islands of Indonesia from the Portuguese. While the Portuguese continued to rule Goa for many centuries to come, it put a major speed bump in its growth. Meanwhile, the Dutch in Vengurla saw a rise of a new king who would give rise to a new empire in the Deccan. More on that in the next video, so subscribe, hit the bell icon and stay tuned to Prav now.